today is going to be quite multi-dimension because I'm here without any, I'm not deciding on exactly because I feel everything I have is good. So yes, we are going to share multiple things. But one thing I know is if God has called me to build visionaries in this generation, people helpers in this generation, not reservoirs but rivers, people that are going to willingly lift their hands and be able to open their hands and give to others, then it's a blessing to know that we can be able to share such a space, and it's a blessing to know that we can have these chats, and it's a blessing to know that we can grow beyond our wildest imagination. Beyond our wildest, and sometimes when you use such words, wildest imagination, just think of something you've ever imagined. Just imagine when I was growing up, I didn't imagine this that I am right now. Yes, I had good imaginations about where I would be, but I didn't have these kinds of imagination of this is where I would go, this is how far I would travel, this is how much impact I would have, this is how much influence up to now. I mean, njagala gamba bantu nsunako, so that I know that I am not dreaming. Do you know that when you're living a dream, literally, and you're like, God, am I the one you are using to actually do this and be on these platforms? So beyond your wildest imaginations, and when I say it, I mean it. That 5 months from now or 1 year from now, you will call me or text me and tell me, I didn't know this would happen. There's some of the coaches that went through the mentorship, and some of them kept calling me and saying, you didn't tell us that there is money in this thing. Like, like so many times, Coach Zai, Coach Marjorie, as in, they would go to places and they'll be like, but you didn't tell me that people would even hold my bag while I am entering a speaking engagement. You didn't tell me that people will call me sir. Like, you undertold us. But for me, when I'm talking to visionaries, I'm actually nailing one thing: giving value. Giving value and giving value. And today, that is where I want us to start. That your assignment, when God created you, he gave you an assignment and he gave you a clock. Okay? When you were woven in your mother's womb, okay? When you were created together in the sacred place, before you were even conceived, there was an assignment and to your name. That means you were not born by coincidence. It's not an accident that you're here. Okay? It could have been an accident to your mother or to your father, but they didn't know that their collusion was God made so that you will be born into this world. But when you were born, right there, at that moment, God gave you an assignment. Now, those assignments, by the way, so many of us will not know them when we are young. We get to rediscover ourselves as we go ahead in life. For example, I got to know that I could speak, that I could sing. That should have been around P6, P5. I see people singing, I admire them, and I'm like, but what do you do, to even be part of the band? And I remember going to church every Saturday and every Friday, just to make sure that I look at people singing. And all of a sudden, one day they gave me a chance. I remember that guy he's called Lincoln. He gave me a chance and he was like, you know what, come, there's this new song that we are going to sing. You can actually be our lead singer on Sunday. I remember I had a dress. The dress didn't even fit. You know these dresses that they used to sell around, not Clock Tower, Square, City Square. There used to be, some of you are too young to understand that City Square walinga wa katali. And that katali, they used to kukuba we miti, and they would put on those, you know, these hip full hangers, those hangers with hips. And now when you find a dress that is on that hanger or with hips, you will think chikutuka. So I bought a dress and it was small and it couldn't, and it had such buttons, but you know where you put on buttons and they're like they're like this. It's about kupasuka, and that is the Sunday I was supposed to be to be singing. That was the first day I sang, and I remember this gentleman telling me, "Togeza kono yimba kike oba kized." Tukuwade kischi, and I replied kisi, and I was because my voice was deep, so I used to sing C or A. Those were my favorite keys. So I was like, you just imagine the trembling that was there, because I'm trying to discover myself, I didn't know up until then that we would sing with my mother. You know, we are in the evening, we don't have anything to eat, so we are just there hungry and just singing. So now, for the first time, I have to stand in front of people. And let me tell you, that opened a door to me composing more than 75 songs, to recording an album later, and that is how I found that I actually have a gift of singing. Now my gift has a bit switched, that I am not... Some of you are saying, but where can we get that music from? Please chill. Be calm. So after that, and that phase goes, I get to understand that I even have any speaking capabilities. I think that should have been around senior 2, senior 1, senior 2. And that is when, you know, my mother tells me that, you know what, on Sunday, you're the one that is going to start, or in Sunday school, that mature Sunday school. So you're not given a topic, you're not given anything, but you have your notebooks. You've been writing, like, whenever you went to conferences, to all those things. So now you have backed up information. So I would go through those, you know, things, peruse through, I would read my Bible. Remember, by then there was no internet. You people have seen internet, you have grown up in internet generation, but there was no internet. Like, there was no, the phones that we had, by then I didn't even have a phone. I think my mother had a phone, and it was those UTL with an aerial, and the plastic ones at that, with rubber on them, rubber aerials. So I discover that, okay, they tell me I'm supposed to go and serve. I come very early, Sunday morning, I'm all dressed to kill, and then I speak, but I don't even know whether what I'm speaking is impactful, whether anyone is listening, but what I know is there were people in church and I was speaking. And my mother makes it a habit that, you know what, even next Sunday, even the other Sunday, before you know it, in Scripture Union, I'm invited to, you know, to say something. And so I get to discover now the callings that, or the assignments that we have, we don't get to discover them while we are young, but as we go ahead, we get to know that being talkative, some of you are talkative, and you know that you have a gift, you can speak. But when you are given that, you're told to record a video or do something, or a camera is in front of you, you shut down. But you know it, that you've not realized that it's really a gifting, but you know that you have potential. Or you know it that I'm good at speaking. Just give me anything, I will say something about it. But maybe your confidence is not built. So you realize that when someone gives you an assignment, for example, when I give my staff an assignment, it's upon me, the assignment giver, okay, in the right time, to be able to know that this one has gotten to a measure where they can handle management, that this time has gotten to a measure where they can speak in a meeting and be able to, or I can delegate my work to them and they can be able to handle it. So you realize that I know the timing of when you're supposed to do it, but again, I know the assignment that I've given to you. And so many times I've given assignments to people, and I know that they are going to mess around, and I'm like, but who doesn't mess around? People learn by messing around. So I will extend as much grace as I can. I will correct with a lot of humility and politeness, because I know I don't want to break. When you are correcting, you're not looking to break. So I'm thinking, I gave you an assignment, so I might as well, I might as well extend some grace, but tell you, abantu betaga, you to be held in high regard and to be treated with respect. So assignment is given by God to us, okay? And I just wanted that to get into us, and it has a timing to it, okay? And when we are given assignment at birth, we are given two people. Those are parents. Now, these parents, they nurture us, but they don't nurture our assignment. They nurture the bodies. Okay? But along the way, and that is the first flow of your assignment, you have the parents. Now, time comes, you grow, because growth is growth. You grow to the second, if it's, let's imagine it's an elevator. You grow to the second floor, you grow to the third floor, and maybe by the time you get to the third floor, you're around your 20s, okay? When you're around your 20s, you get people walking into your life. Maybe when you're in secondary, people, you're not an adult, so people are treating you as a child. But when you get to campus, people are treating you as an adult. Now you can make decisions and what? Now you have so many friends that are interjecting into your own life. You are at level 3 in the elevator. But mark you, the assignment is supposed to take you to, let's say, level 10. That is the assignment, because we all have dreams to grow and become the best versions of ourselves, to grow and be able to impact and influence people in the world. But now you are at level 2 of your life, and now that is where we start to get what we call the distractions. The people that come into your life, some of them can be like friends, some of them can be the course mates, some of them can be village mates, some of them can be, but everyone has something to say. When someone leaves, you even have the audacity of holding the elevator open. How many of us have held the elevator open? And we have those things that we press. And you're either waiting for someone, or someone says, oh, wait. You press. And then some of us are not even pressing buttons, but we have put a whole leg in the door of the elevator. And we are keeping it open. Why? No. The friends that we let in and the acquaintances are the time wasters at around level 3 of our lives. The moment they start getting out, because some open doors, and this is just coming to me, some open doors are not doors bringing in money or bringing in good things. Some open doors are for your enemies to get out, people that don't belong to you in your life to get out. So whenever you pray for open doors, just know there are things that are going to get out and there are things that are going to get in. But whenever we pray for open doors, we think we are opening doors to blessings. But there is no way God is going to give you a blessing while you're still holding on to, or you are still in an overweight elevator that cannot move. He's going to want to decongest it. But this is what happens. As God is decongesting, we are busy holding the elevator, and then we are busy begging the people that have gotten out of the elevator to come back. No, but you can't do this to me. Because it's painful. When some people live our lives, or when we reposition some people out of our lives, it's painful. And some of us can even be shy about it. Have you ever felt like, just imagine you're in an elevator and someone is stinking, and you would do anything to have them out of the elevator, but that person is way older than you, or that person is a friend to your mother. You hold an elevator, akoze entondo olwagamba kakangende chira kati munjagala wano, and then you hold the elevator and you're like, but sigala kale tewali buzibu. Ate let me tell you, tewali muntu gwotayagala kusigala. The moment oba wakafulumya ekigambo sigala aba yakomyewo dda. Tebalina ntondo. The people that don't belong in your life, tebalina ntondo, when you call them back, they will find themselves back. But those that belong in your life, do you know that osobola okwegayirira no sita ebigere ne wegayirira no saba no siba, and they are not coming? They're like tebeguya. But those that add no value, they are the ones that are very speedy. So you realize that we are still stuck at level 3, where excellence is not happening, where we are fighting with the assignment of our lives, and yet the people that we are supposed to impact are waiting and we are not showing up. Some of us, we have let not just people, but things board our elevators, like depression. Some of us have walked into a depression and we don't know, we don't even realize that it's a depression. But a depression counts for, it will put a weight on you like that is like 1,000 kilograms. 1,000 kilograms, to the extent that you will not feel like lifting your finger to do anything. You will not feel like lifting your foot to do anything. You will not feel like dressing up or changing clothes or even bathing. Or even looking good, like Viabali, you even feel like, life should be easy. Like, you just wake up and mind your business. And that is depression. But it has come into your life, And now it is making you so heavy. You have an assignment on your life, but there is no way. And that is why we thank God for coach healers like Coach Molly, that, by the way, you get to a place where you need to open your elevator and be able to let in people that are going to minister healing to you, so that you can get lighter, so that you can be able to continue on your merry way up. Because your destination is level 10. Your destination is not level 3. And I'm opening this up to every one of us, because every one of us is a people helper. Every one of us is a people helper. Like, you can't help your children when you're depressed. You can't. You can't help your children when, for example, the people that choose to, you have a purpose and you're not pursuing to live a wholesome life. And by wholesome life, I mean financially, physically, emotionally, relationally, because it's supposed to be a wholesome life. But just imagine if, for example, that you're not going to grow financially. You're going to grow in other areas, but you're not going to grow financially. That is being selfish. Do you know why it's being selfish? When you prosper, you don't prosper only for you. You prosper for other people. So you realize that when people enter your elevator and they deter you from making money, and they tell you, or they feed into you the notion of just being okay with just being okay, and you settle for less, you are not just closing your path, but you're closing the path to everyone that you could have helped. Because you could have extended your hand to your children, to whoever. There are so many people to extend hands to. Not just your children, not just yourself, but to other people. So your assignment has a time limit. And if God says that you're supposed to be at the 10th floor in 40 years or 30 years, do you see how people start getting depressed because their lives have been going in circles in one place for so long? They are in the same elevator. Other people are getting off, others are coming in. Other people are getting off, others are coming in. It's not going anywhere. It's not moving. It's stuck. And that is where you will need people to come and repair the elevator. So I really felt it on my heart that while you practice your assignment, whatever assignment it is, your assignment could be to be a business person, a businesswoman, a mega businesswoman in this world. And that is your assignment. But you get to age 20, 25. I don't know why, but there is something about 20, 25 where you can be taken off course. You can be tossed around. And some of us don't grow up even until in our 30s. We can still be tossed around. And I've seen people in their 40s who are still tossed around by the problems of the world, by the situations they have gotten into, by the friends they have come into, they have gotten into their lives. And all of a sudden, one that was supposed to be a billionaire by age 40, you hit 40 and you're still a beggar. And then you ask yourself, because God is not a segregator of human beings, no. The race is not to the swift, and food is not to the strong. That means chance happens to all of us. So when you see, the next time you see a great person, the next time you see a person that is pursuing their purpose and they're prospering, ask yourself, why am I not on that trajectory? Why is it that why is it? Because you will find that you have the answers. Like today, someone was not shooting videos. And was it so hard to shoot a video? No, it's not so hard. Why was it so hard? You just didn't get to it. You just kept getting fear intervene in your mind, and fear kept you from so many things that you were supposed to actually do in your life. So you realize that at some point you just have to do it. You do whatever you need to do. You don't wait until you feel comfortable about doing it. Okay? So my encouragement today, or my warning today, is that your assignment has a time frame to it. And if it has a time frame to it, you are going to be so disappointed and so frustrated if that assignment cannot come into play, or it cannot come into fruition in the time that you're supposed to actually have it come into fruition. And some of the distractions that we have, some of us will give examples of marriage. Some of us, we know you got into a marriage and now the marriage became a marriage. Now I have to take care of the husband, I have to take care of the children, I have to take care. But that is where you need a balanced life. That is where you need to harmonize your life. That is where you need to know that your life is a whole pie chart. It's not just a half of a pie chart. That you're not going to say, I'm going to be very good at marriage. Let me tell you, the moment you will have marriage at 100% and you have your finances at 0%, you'll be the most frustrated person on earth. The moment you will have your calling, your assignment or your calling or your purpose nailed at 100%, but without financial backing, without being financially strong, you're going to be so frustrated, because number two of the things that distract us from our purpose is money. Because why? Who is going to fund your dream? You know, when we talk about purpose, some of us think that purpose is just there. It's something God deposited inside of us, and so we're just going to bring it out just like that, and it's going to be. No, there is a thing called buying a phone, buying a ring light, and, and buying a laptop, and buying data, buying airtime, and paying graphic designers, and paying. So who is going to fund your dream? So purpose is like a business that you must have capital. So some of us, we miscalculate and we are like, I don't think, I think I just have to present my body as a living sacrifice, and that is it. And then you present your body as a living sacrifice, but let me tell you, ebigambo byoyogera nga tolina sente era biwulikika nga tolina sente. Have you ever had someone quote so many scriptures to just to just prove that it's okay not to have money? Seek first the kingdom of God, and then they will tell you as in all these ambiguous things, and they will have all the scriptures to actually back it. But guess what? The reason as to why they're looking for all those scriptures is because they're frustrated. Is because they know that there is something more to their lives, but they're not getting to it. Is because they know that even when, let me tell you, the day you will practice your purpose, and with zero relational growth, marriage, relationship, that dimension has collapsed totally, and you're busy on the trajectory of pursuing your purpose. Let me tell you, even if you just speak open and the blind's eyes open, you will be the most frustrated person on planet. And then no one wants to go back to a home that is not happy. So you can have a home in form of mimicking, of having a marriage or a home, and you're busy pursuing all this. You have all the money in the world. But whenever you think about making a bow turn and going back home, you feel like I am going to a war zone. You feel like I should put on a bulletproof, I should put on a helmet, I should go peeping. Omukulu jali taliyo. Yebase oba atunula. And some men, by the way, with men, by the way, it's even worse. When a man yeralikirira amaka gaddamu, oberako omukazi twekaza, abakazi twekaza, osobola n'ogenda ng'oyimba akayimba buli woowangula kibaluma. Welcome, you know. And so buli lwokola kibaluma. Abakazi tulina engeri gye twebuzaabuzamu, because the kids will take our attention, cooking will take our attention. Wakiri tetukuba amasepiki, wakiri tokuba amasepiki n'ebikopono, as in you pretend like you're doing so many things at the same time. But when a man thinks about going back to a home that is not pleasant, that is a war zone, omutima gumukuba. N'alowoozaako ku mukwano gwe gwe yalekerawo okubira emyaka 10 emabega, n'alowoozaako aw'okutuula wakiri jaamu ayitewo, yeekwasa jaamu ataliiyo. Why? Because they have a fear, where I'm going, things are not going to be good. Doesn't refer to a man being the one alinga obukubo obutonyerera ku bbaati obutaggwa. It refers to a woman, because we are the ones who are too emotional and we can't let things go. If we can't talk about it in the morning, be rest assured at lunch we will send you a message. If that message misses, rest assured in the evening. Okay, you come back and you don't want to talk because you're watching news, we will wait for you at midnight. And if we can't talk at midnight, we will wait for you at 3 a.m. You will have to wake up to make sure that you respond to your issues. Yeah? I don't know what happened to women. I don't know how God created us. But luckily enough, we were created out of a man's rib. But the thing is, we must be able to have a holistic growth. You will be the most spiritual person, but for as long as other dimensions of your life are not catered for, you're not growing. So that means as our elevator is going up to level 3, to level 4, to level, and sometimes you need to get unstuck. So let's say you get unstuck. God helps you that you get fed up. And sometimes one person gets you to get fed up. Maybe a friend, maybe someone says something, maybe you watch a motivational video, maybe you go for a certain session, maybe you go for a therapy session, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what, I need to let off the steam. So you go and open the elevator and you're like, all out, all out. And everyone goes out. And you're like, you know what, now I'm going to start to tussle it between me and God. I'm going to ask for direction. God, why did you create me? I don't know if some of you have gotten to that place, but sometimes you need to fight it out with God. And you're like, God, why did you create me? What is my purpose? As in, I need clarity, a sense of clarity. Who is supposed to be in my life? Because there are people who are supposed to be in your life. You need assignment helpers, destiny helpers. You need people that are going to hold your hand while you practice your assignment. But let me tell you, all these people are going to come into your life only after you have let out the people that are supposed to be out of your life, or after you have let out the garbage that is not supposed to be out in your life. Have you ever gotten to an elevator and an elevator took long to come because there was someone else that was loading so many other things? Whether garbage bins, whether they were loading, but they were loading so many things. Then we'll put what is that, a camera stand at the elevator door. And then everyone is down waiting for an elevator to come down. It's not coming down. Whoever is up is frustrated. The elevator is not going up. But it is at level 3, and guess what? There is a certain producer who found it convenient to load cameras and load camera stands and load camera bags and load, and then also have the audacity to wait for other producers to come and join. And even remind someone at the reception, you go and call for me, producer so and so. The people down are waiting, the people up are waiting. And the same happens in our real lives. That we pack our lives with so many things. How many of us have worried about things that we should never worry about? There is a fight in the family. All of a sudden, your nose must be in it somewhere. As in, you even go to Lumbe and people berangira and you find reason to just interject. Like we have looked for things that we're not even looking for us. Some of us have coupled with people that we should never have coupled with. Some of us have gotten into partnerships, business partnerships with people we should never have gotten into partnership with. And guess what? The moment you get in partnership with someone that you're not supposed to be, they will become a thorn in your flesh. Until a time comes and you're tired of limping and you will seek to pull that thorn out of your life. And sometimes it will not be as easy as just saying it. Sometimes you're the one who will be hurting. Have you ever let go of a relationship that you knew you had to let go of, but you were the one crying? Some of you are too good to be true. Some of you have lived good lives. But there are times where you know that, by the way, just imagine you are sick and they tell you that, you know what, food is the one that is poisoning your body. So now you must cut out whatever carbohydrates so that you can go on a diet. Do you know that it's painful? You know that the carbohydrates are the ones that are hurting you. But you're holding on for dear life. Why? Because kuva mu buto olya kasoli, olya lumonde, olya muwogo, olya kawunga. Kati otuuse oli wa myaka 3-4 bakugamba nti ebyo bispikinga sugar levels. Now you must eat what? Cabbage. What? Raffages. Indeed, they sound like raffages. Like there is one I saw on internet that had a box of KFC. I was like, the idea is you smell the KFC and eat the raffages. You smell the KFC so that you can lie to your brain that you're actually eating something good and interesting. But why? Because it is hard. It is hard. So some of the things that must get out of our lives in order for us to be able to fulfill our God-given assignments are painful to let go of. Painful to let go of. Because we have been used to them. They are part of our lives. And sometimes it feels like they have created a convenience in our lives and a certain level of comfort in our lives and certain level of familiarity in our lives. So because we are familiar with it, it sounds okay. And we are willing to tolerate it. But guess what? You're not going to get to level 10. Because that weight is going to keep increasing and increasing. Have you ever held a bottle? When you hold it like, when they tell you hold it like this, you're like, ah, sure, that bottle, that is what? 300 mils, just hold. I want you to keep, I don't want to do this because it's going to take some time. Hold this bottle like this for 30 minutes and tell me what's going to happen. The gravitational pull will be working on you, but the muscles are going to get tired and you're going to start getting, but is it that big? So that means whatever weight we put on us, the longer we hold that weight, the heavier that weight becomes. So if there's anything that you need to get out of your life, and by the way, could be habits, because we've just talked about people, could be habits. There are people that have called me about different habits, and they're like, but it started as a joke, and all of a sudden, it became a permanent habit. That is where addictions start like that. Addictions don't start like addictions. Addictions start like innocent things that people are doing, and they're like, you know what, I had pain. Have you ever had people who get addicted to painkillers? So it started like they were fighting a pain. But they stayed longer on the meds, and they felt good whenever they took the meds. So they just decided and got addicted and try to take away the addiction. That's the other thing I want us to talk about. When you take away the addiction, what you get is sometimes a convulsion because your body still demands. It was used to that. You were used to that relationship, even when that relationship was toxic, but it was giving you the convenience of knowing, I have a girlfriend, I have a boyfriend. Even when you were just quarreling, even when you were just like at each other's neck, literally, even when you were being cheated on, but the convenience of kastajali. Now, let anyone dare take away that toxic thing. You will start convulsing. Convulsing is like omuntu agudde ensimbu. You know these people who are addicted to drugs, and all of a sudden they can't stay without drugs. They start shaking because the body says, I need my drug. And some of these things have become drugs to us. Making yourself busy when you are not busy, fruitless busyness has become a drug that you must let go of in order to fulfill your God-given assignment. I am busy. Let me check my schedule. And then you have no schedule to actually check. But you and then you get back and you're like, my whole week is really, taken. But guess what? You have time to go on TikTok, and watch movie after movie. These days they are putting on movies on TikTok. They are movie after movie, and they are very catchy because they put on catchy. When you start watching it like this, you have to take the whole 10 minutes or the whole 25 minutes, and then you go. Before you know it, they now know you. They are giving you all the things that you want. If you like fashion, they will bring all the people that are, and then you start screenshotting at a very terrific speed, and then you start saving there, and then you start following and even favoriting their pages so that they can appear more on. Why? Fruitless business. But we are busy holding the elevator. We are like, we are not going anywhere. We are here. We are busy. And sometimes we are like my daughter who likes telling me, mommy, today was a busy day. I did a lot of good work. Wow. And I'm like, what did you do? That, I washed utensils. The moment you ask the one who is in charge of utensils, they will tell you they actually washed one cup like this. But today was a busy day. I did a lot of good work. But why? At the end of the day, all they want to do is, can I have some chocolate? Or can I have your phone? I'm like, no, my phone is my phone. It's not your phone. But the thing is, we do that in our own lives. How many of us have sustained blank thoughts? You're there, you're not thinking. You guys don't experience it? You just sit there, you're not busy, you're not thinking, but whoever looks at you, your face looks like it's processing something. But it is not processing something. It is very empty, very blank. And guess what? Someone will even pass by and you will not notice they passed by. Someone will call, you will not notice they called. As in, you will miss all the important things in your life, but your brain will be blank. And guess what? Because it creates comfort, we run to it quite often. That you will even be on your laptop or computer and your boss will be passing by and you will even raise your hand to pretend like you're reading. You'll even hold your mouse. Like, just so that they can pass by, so that you can go back to your blankness. I told you I used to make dates with crying. Like in some of those my bad situations, I will just, like you're on a party, and you'll feel like people are wasting your time, simanyi hugging, simanyi networking. You'll be like, I just want to go home and I have a good cry, like a 1 hour cry. And I used to do it, definitely to relieve you, but so many of us, we are not just crying, because now that crying for me, there was tension building in my mind, and I felt like I was in a world where in my own bubble and I was not seeing anyone else. So parties were not parties, weddings were not weddings. Why am I at a wedding anyway? And so I just wanted to release that tension. But some of us, it's not even about releasing the tension. For some of us, we are addicted to sorrow. Sorrow. I don't know if some of you live in real life. But I am living a real life, and I have lived a real life for the longest time. Like, okubera nga wekubagiza nga toyagala na muntu akutataganye mu birowoozo. You want to still think about how someone was unfair, how resentment builds, how notandika okwesoza weka, how you. So now it becomes, you're holding the elevator. You're saying, I must process this, I must think about this, I must do all these things. Now, it is time to declutter. Time to declutter. If your elevator has not been moving, and some of us have been stuck for the longest time, stuck in our thought processes, stuck in the way we recruit friends, or the way we make friends, and the way we let go of friends, the way we reposition people in our lives, okay? It is time where you say that, you know what, have you ever felt, has something ever happened and you felt like you were free at last? So for some of us that have taken the journey of forgiveness, where you chose to forgive and let go, and you felt like you were a newborn, you felt like you were a brand new person, you felt like your thoughts now were disentangling from all the entanglements, and now you can finally breathe. For some of us, we are not making the money that we want to make. We are not causing the impact that we want to cause. We are not causing the influence that we want to cause. Why? We are still stuck. In elevator number 3, there are people that are waiting for you. Because even the Bible talks about it, that islands are waiting for you. They're waiting for your manifestation. But manifestation does not happen where you manifest dirty, where you manifest gloomy, where you manifest confused. Who are you going to confuse? They are confused and you're bringing more confusion. No. They want clarity of mind. Have you ever seen someone? There are sometimes I have looked at Coach Fifi and she looks freshness. And she looks freshness. And that time I've even told Coach Molly. And I look at her and I'm like, you look like a sweet 12, too sweet. Like you don't look like you have worries in the world. But guess what? As healers, because we are healers, we are people interveners, we are world changers. Who are you going to change with a gloomy face? Because you're stuck in your own things. Because you have not decided to make your life wholesome, you've decided to grow in one area of your life, because it is a decision. Just like excellence is a decision. So for you to excel in all these areas, relationally, physically, emotionally, financially, it is a decision where you say, and I think one of the assignments that I give in the mentorship is to be able to find yourself and say, from between 0 to 10, where am I when it comes to my marriage? So that when it comes to my relationship, when it comes to my finances, and some of you have sent me some of those things and you are at 0, and you have admitted that, you know what, when it comes to my marriage, I am at 0. And then I know as a mentor that now there's an area that we need to give emphasis. That yes, we might talk about people helping, we might talk about influencing, changing people's lives, but marriage is an area where we need more light and we need more clarity in order for you to be happy. Because I am not mentoring people to go out and speak mightily about changing people's lives and then they come back to their own sorrows. No. You are happy as you go out, you are happy as you come back. So that even your alone time should be pleasure, filled with pleasure. I don't know if some of you enjoy your time alone. Some of you are so stuck on having other people around in order for you to enjoy your lives. But there is nothing I enjoy. I keep sneaking away. You know, when you have children, it's very hard to sneak away. But I keep sneaking away. Recently, I should maybe do a kaloka somewhere where just that is how it is. There is no one in there. I think I should be. But you get lost even if you lock yourself in the bedroom. My 2-year-old knows how to knock, and then he knows how to say, "Please open." Or he will mutter words that you don't understand, but in a bid, but he will knock, and he will knock like 1,000 times. For him, he never gives up, and even when you refuse to open, he will sit there. And then, you know how you can pass a leg under the door? Like to show someone inside that I am here. So when you see that I have blocked the light, you will see that I am still here. And then he will put his finger in the mouth and suck on his finger and wait. Tulabe, whether you will not open, whether you will not come out. But the thing is, you should get to a time. Let me tell you, this is going to happen to you. A time is going to come, and you will want to run away from people just to go and do research. I don't know if that has happened to you. As in, you feel like this wedding, so I know what's going to happen. They're going to move in dancing, and then they're going to do everything, and then you will put on your headsets, and you will be listening to a certain video, you'll be researching, you will be thinking about the problems the people in your niche have, you will be, as in your mind will be preoccupied until you will feel like, you know what, I'm doing them a disservice, let me just move away and just be alone and do my things. But while you're still holding elevators, to come back, relationships that are no longer serving you, people that are no longer serving you, the sorrows and the depression, the not forgiving yourself of what happened. Some of us we are good at forgiving others, but we are not good at forgiving ourselves. And that makes us stuck, okay? So there are so many things that are making us stuck, and those things we must be able to address vividly. What is making you stuck? Randomly. Do we know what's making us stuck? Yep. We must go to level 10. Decision making. And yet, the quality of our lives pivots only on one thing: making good decisions. The quality of our lives. Now, the quality of our decisions comes from one thing: having good information. The moment you have the right information, you can make the better decisions. And when you make better decisions, you are unstuck and you're getting other people unstuck. Wow. We have another reason why we're stuck. Procrastination. Some of us are like, you know what, I'm going to level 10, but I will get there. I will do what? I will get there. That's where life ends. Let me tell you, life does not end there. Life can end at level 2. Actually, if you're not careful, you're going down. And let me say it very clearly. The moment you walk away from your assignment, you remember Jonah? He was told to go to Nineveh. And all of a sudden, he decides that in his all-knowing and almighty, as the preacher he is and the man of God, that he's supposed to take the opposite direction. Guess what? The Bible says he paid expensively. He paid. Nineveh, he was not supposed to pay to go to Nineveh. But when he had to go, the Bible says that he went down. So every time you're not pursuing what your assignment and your purpose, you're actually going down. And guess what? You're going down, but expensively. You're paying with your focus. You're paying with your lack of consistency. You're paying with everything else that you need, with your procrastination, with your saturated mind, lack of clarity. You are paying expensively in order to go down. Remember, we said that up. The only thing you have to pay is pay for your dream. As in, make sure that inject here, inject there. Because even a business, it does not just start like that. You have to be able to prepare for it. So procrastination, those things of saying, they told me to go to Nineveh, and you're like, God, you're joking. I will go there next year. As in, God has said, and let me tell you, there is a blessing. The blessing that we get from untying other people is more than the people we have untied. Okay? The blessing that we get, have you ever gotten satisfaction from providing to another person? Like you feel more satisfaction. For them, they are so thankful, but for you, you feel satisfaction that I was able to give my child this kind of life. I was able to give this person that requested for this kind of money, and I'm like, I'm glad I was able to be a blessing in their lives. So when you're procrastinating on building your financial capacity, when you procrastinate on building your calling and your assignment, when you procrastinate on sending the wrong people out of your life, and you procrastinate on having the right people into your life, do you see how we procrastinate a lot? As in, it's a matter of networking. How many things are happening in Kampala? And when I need you to make a list of all the collaborations you're going to make this year, all the consultations you're going to make this year, because you cannot grow in isolation. And relationships, the other thing that determines the quality of our lives are relationships. But remember, the relationships also fall under the decisions, that you must make a decision and say, you know what? let me make a list of 20 people that by the end of this year, I know that these people could be busy, but I'm going to ask them to have a coffee with them or a tea with them. I'm going to ask them out for lunch. I'm going to ask them what made them who they are. But procrastination will never let us. It will never let us. We will make the lists. We will get to June, and other people will be jubilating how far they have gone. And social media has a way. Let me tell you, some people post on social media, they post lies also. So they say, oh, this year has begun so well. But when in their lives, they are as stuck as I don't know what. As a fuso that has never moved for the past 10 years. But here on social media, because apparently we must, make other people believe, because then we have people that are following, so now we must give them. No, that is why even in the mentorship, we do not speak your truth. Okay? When I'm stuck, I will come here and tell you I am stuck. I think I told you that the way I ended last year, for me, was not a matter of, I was happy with my family, I was hosting, but when it comes to work, do, you know, as in pursue your purpose and do all those things, I don't know where God had wrapped those things and kept them. Like, I was just not active. On social media, I was just showing up whenever I needed to show up, as in I was doing the bare minimum. Why? I just didn't feel like it. And guess what? I gave in to my emotions. Because I'm human. Not all times I am going to be on top of my game. And I'm not saying that be on top of your game at all times. But can you make a conscious decision that not on my watch, I'm not going to stay stuck at level 3. Not on my watch. I am going to do everything in my power to make sure that I get off level 3 and at least get to level 4. When I get to level 4, I will aim higher and I will aim higher. But can I put one foot in front of the other? If that one foot means shooting a video, shoot a video. If that one foot means having a consultation session with someone, do the consultation session. If that move means praying or fasting, do it. Okay? But let the things that you're not supposed to let out. Release the steam. Okay? Do not congest your life. And some of us, I can even tell by the way you're seated. Have you ever said, I think in healing, you even have a way of looking at someone's posture and know that this person is not well. Do you know what? You'll be seated like this. And some of us are. Like you are tensed in your body. That is why they will even tell you, go for a massage. So that as they massage you, because let me tell you, in mentorship, we even teach posture and etiquette. You cannot have a client and sit like this. The moment you sit like that, you slouch, even your brain slouches. Even your thought process slouches. The moment you sharp, even the way you think, the way you speak, the way someone feels respected, but there's a way you feel like, you know, you're not comfortable, like you're not confident, like no. So everything that we must let go of. We talked about that being too busy and yet we are not actually doing nothing. And then some of us have romanticized the journey to the 10th floor. We have decided what it's going to be. Just imagine people who decide and think, you know, we have been in a relationship now, and ladies have that habit. We are going to get married and it's going to be romance from now on. There's a way women think the wedding is the beginning of romance, while men think the wedding is the end of romance. Because the other time I was pursuing you, but now, ondi munkwawa, sichakunonya, you're here. But now for the women, for them, they think it's the beginning of, now you see how people start contradicting in a home. You expect flying kisses, then someone goes without even giving you a flying kiss. Not even, nothing. You expect a touch, nothing is happening, you know. The touches are not touching. And then you start putting your mouth in the nose, and then you start working yourself, you're too emotional. Why? You romanticized, but no one warned you that marriage is work. Yeah. Eh? No one warned you that even maintaining a friendship is work. For you, you thought, we have become friends, so now, you're my friend for life. No. If you want a friend for life, like, I mean, when you get to my age, or when you get to a certain age, there is a way you start being intentional. Because, guess what? As you grow older, friends are going to become fewer. So who are you going to bank KB with when you are 60 and 70? So now you start investing in friendships intentionally. gundi yanyiza kamuveeko gundi yakoze eki omanya nti oyo gundi bwatyo yanyiza, but they have good character traits and I need them. They are, yeah, but that person is very loyal. Even when they have other things, but they are very loyal. I'm not going to just discard them like that. So you realize God gives you the wisdom to know what to throw out and what to retain. And what you must retain are people that are going to be destiny helpers, are people that are going to say, don't give up. No one told you that your assignment is cheap, that your assignment is, for example, we are creating an app and they gave us a bill that is humongous. We are creating an app for the mentorship, and that is an investment that has to be made. More than 10 millions have to go into an app. But the difference between small businesses and big businesses is there was a person who was willing to invest to make a business bigger. Or there was one who was willing, because some of us want to stay startups forever. And even if you create your business, or you start your own coaching business, or you start your counseling business, or speaking business, or writing business, you're not supposed to stay a startup forever. That means you must have capital injection to make your business big, so that you can reach more people and impact more people. Okay, so part of the distractions when you get to the hard bits of this journey of changing people's lives, that is when you're like, but me, I thought it's just speaking, it's just no. I think some of you, when you started watching videos, that is when you got to know that this is serious work. That, by the way, there is a difference between a mentor and a coach, and there is a difference between, as and then you start to know that, by the way, I have taken on a serious thing to do in my life, okay? And so many other things we are not going to talk about. Some of us are distracted by entertainment. Movies. How many of us watch movies until 3 a.m.? Entertainment. TikTok has come with the live entertainment. These days, people are even going on live doing taka-taka. You know, all weird things. But you're there, you're watching, because you're interested in seeing what is happening in people's lives. Some of those things must go in order for us to get to the lightness and the swiftness that we want to move at, so that we can meet the people on the top, on the 9th floor, on the 8th floor. People are waiting for us to be able to liberate them, to help them. And as we also get better in our own lives, there is no way we get there when we are still stuck at level 3. No way we are going to get there. So make sure that you let the people that are going out say good riddance to who you need to say good riddance, or to whatever you need to say good riddance to, and then open the door for those that need to get in, and then get on and go to where you are predestined to be. Okay? Okay, so I will not go past this, because if I go past this, I will have taken too much time. But I love you. I believe in you. And one thing I know is you are going to fulfill your calling, your purpose, and everything that God has ordained you to do in the time that He has wanted you to do it. So no procrastination, no berating ourselves, no showing up late. When we show up and do the work, and that is how we are able to influence, impact, and change people's lives. Bye-bye.